Okay, so blockchain. Maybe you've heard that it could change things, disrupt the status quo, kind of like the internet did. What the hell is it? Okay, so let's get one thing out of the way. You can't touch a blockchain, but you can't lick it either, because it's digital on computers all around the world. So here's a visual of what's really happening on these computers. Blockchains are used to store data. When you have data that you want to record and keep safe, like, I don't know, a receipt from something expensive you bought, or how much money you have, or even your blood type, it gets coded into a block. Once it's there, it's safe forever, but more about that later. The block then joins the previous block in the blockchain. Get it? Because it's a chain of blocks. Because the blocks are arranged by when they were made and coded with information, you can keep track of exactly when information was produced. Okay, but so what, right? We already have ways to record and safely store data. Why is blockchain so revolutionary? Well, thanks to some cutting-edge game theory, cryptography, and computer science, blockchains have some special features that, if you start to think about, could really change the way we live. First, they are next-level secure. Once something is recorded on a blockchain, it is literally there forever. No one can go in and change the data on a block. This makes the blockchain immutable. It's like digital permanence, if you think about it. Second, a new block of data can only be created if the network verifies it. This can ensure that only things that actually take place and are meant to go on the blockchain go on the blockchain. And lastly, there's this concept called decentralization. Blockchains aren't owned or run by any one person. They're distributed and open to anyone with internet access. Like a river that can't help but flow through multiple cities, no one person or company can get in the way of you using it, ever. Blockchain sort of belongs to everyone. Okay, so let's summarize. Blockchains are storages of data that can let us record only the things that are meant to be recorded. Once information is on a blockchain, it is unhackable. It cannot be altered. And finally, this system is available to everyone to use. So, what changes? Well, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just currency on a blockchain, a system that stores information perfectly about the ebb and flow of where your currency is, that can only send payment if and when instructed to, that cannot be hacked, and that is literally designed to be accessible to everyone all the time. Or at least that's the idea behind Bitcoin. Remember, things are still a work in progress, but you start to see why banks are getting anxious. Here's another crazy blockchain application. Ethereum, which is another blockchain, lets you play around with smart contracts. Smart contracts are like contracts that execute by themselves if some action takes place. So you could design a smart contract like, if Vladimir from Russia sends me the bike that I purchased from him, then release payment to Vladimir's account. So what happens when you put a self-executing smart contract like that one on a blockchain that cannot be changed? You get to guarantee that when the work is done, the worker gets paid. You can literally program the world to be the way it's supposed to be. You get to automate trust. So what's the point? Well, the internet took our invisible assumptions about how connected we could be in a dispersed world and shattered them. Blockchain will challenge our invisible assumptions about how trusting we can be in a dishonest world and potentially shatter those. Many say cryptocurrency is to the blockchain what email was to the internet, a revolutionary tool on its own, but just the very tip of the iceberg. Imagine a world where you can program systems that only let the things that should happen, happen. You're only allowed into your house if it's your fingerprints being scanned at the entrance and if they match your ID information in a blockchain. Imagine pairing this blockchain ID technology with a voting system, a way to let everyone vote from their phones and produce accurate results that literally can't be tampered with. The ability to precisely keep track of where every dollar of government money goes and exactly where campaign donations are coming from. The point is, when these invisible assumptions are challenged, like the internet taught us just a few decades earlier, you don't know what's in store. Store, get it? Like storage of data, like blockchain. Oh my god, it finally makes sense! Finally! 1 week! Later! 1 week later!